CBDCs, central bank digital currencies, are coming, and it's fast approaching. This is a Trojan horse to be able to get through things they never could before. You must pay attention. So in this video here, I'm going to give you all of the most recent developments so that you are informed of what's going on. How does that sound? Let's begin. This is the FedNow system. You should think of the FedNow system as like the road. But on top of that road, you have vehicles. And those vehicles may be central bank digital currencies. As of this moment, that isn't the case, but this is the suggestion. The old way, it's old, it's slow, it's not working, so we need a new system. Now, there's certainly this ongoing battle that we have with different countries and what they've been doing, and there's sanctions. Let's get out of the SWIFT system. What about when you're trying to put transactions through, you got to wait until the next business day? The FedNow system aims to basically get rid of all of these negative aspects of trying to move money internationally, move it domestically, trying to make things more simple. Sure, that's fine. That's one aspect. Here we are now today. The Fed now is live with 35 banks. Not all of them have signed on, but certainly they will in time. They probably just have to assign some quote unquote resources to it. All right. So you got, your typical companies, JP Morgan, Wells Fargo. All right. Here we have this. The Federal Reserve has launched a long-awaited service that will aim to modernize the country's payment system by eventually allowing everyday Americans to send and receive funds in seconds, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. That's good. I don't think anybody's complaining about that aspect. I really don't. So the problem here is not that. It's not that people don't want this. It's what does it come along with? That's part of the big concern. It's not people saying, hey, the money came too quick. I was hoping it would take several weeks. No, nobody's saying that. We have this. The Banque de France publishes a second report to share the lessons learned from its wholesale CBDC experiments using distributed ledger technologies. All right. Now, is that ledger going to be public? Is this something like a Bitcoin? Of course not. But this is what they are testing right now, right? And they made some interesting points, key takeaways. I really need to read this to you. I think it's extremely important. Issuing a wholesale CBDC as a complement to a retail CBDC would contribute to the singleness, that's a word, singleness of money by ensuring the anchoring value of central bank money for both retail and wholesale payments and convertibility between the different forms of private money. That's just, okay, that's one. Let's just go through these and then I'll tell you what's going on. International cooperation of public and public-private partnerships remain a priority to converge towards a more globally inclusive and interoperable wholesale CBDC framework. And then the last thing talks about climate-related concerns, highlight the need to develop energy-efficient solutions in the design of wholesale CBDCs. What they are trying to do is create a world in which all central banks are connected. Now, to some degree, if I want to transfer money to you, if I'm sending money overseas, so if a person's in France and I'm, let's just say in Mexico, I want to be able to send that money. It should only take a few seconds. It's all digital anyway. It's not as if paper bills are being sent over. It's not as if gold coins are being sent over. It should be seconds. It should get there. It should be verified. It should be secure. And there should be no need for money to be held until the next business day or, T+2, T+3. These things are ridiculous. But what's happening here is that we are giving up control to these central banks. I think people need to be aware of that. They are just going ahead, creating central bank digital currencies when the public hasn't requested that at all. There has been no request from the people to suggest we need a central bank digital currency. That is not something at all that people are looking for. They're looking for faster payments. They're looking for, to be able to transact internationally for cheap, but there is no central bank digital currency need at all. It isn't public. It's not, something that open source and all these different things that people would maybe like to see. It's none of that. So what is going on here? Well, of course, this is all about being part of a grand scheme to get people signed in and signed on. And what exactly would get them there? You might say, I'm going to reject it. You're going to reject it? Well, how about this? How about if we have a world in which we have too much inflation, or maybe it's even deflation, and not too many people are doing well? And so they would really like a handout. And what if there was a handout? What if it was a free $1,000 a month? And what if that came in the form of universal basic income? And what if that UBI happened to be from a central bank digital currency provided to you by your central bank? Free money. Just got to sign up. Times are tough. Just got to sign up. Let's do an iris scan right now. You can have your money. Oh yeah, by the way, the WorldCoin executives like Sam Altman, he wasn't the guy who was quoted saying this, but I believe it was the other guy. He said, it's whether you like it or not. So what do you think about that? Does that anger you? Does that make you happy? Are you totally saying, hey, if I need that, I'll take that $1,000. Scan my eye. I don't care. You decide. It's coming. What are you going to do about it? Are you making any changes? Here we have just showing you several different examples, okay? Going through this quickly. UK's digital pound project is an opportunity to create a new form of currency that is preferred for global digital transactions. There is no reason to have a quote unquote digital pound. There is no reason. You already basically have that. There is no advantage. I think people need to realize this. There is no advantage. Russia readies digital ruble pilot as war squeezes the economy. We have this. China traces its enemies with Orwellian digital currency assault. No different than any other country. China's digital currency, Bank of China, helps mainland tourists spend their ECNY, this is the pilot project, in Hong Kong at select retailers. So they're doing that. And by the way, that guy in the picture there clearly needs to charge his battery, 17%. Okay, here we have it. Bank of Japan launches forum with 60 firms on digital yen pilot program. Okay, so one thing after another. I think there's even more examples where we have the companies signing on to this. They are going ahead with it. It's happening. This is happening today. So what can you do as an individual? Well, it looks like basically every country is going to have a central bank digital currency that will operate in parallel, at least for a period of time, with the existing systems. I think we should be trying to utilize cash wherever we can as we still have that opportunity, but the businesses will not accept cash at some point. Maybe if you're in like a rural area or something, they still will for a little while. But just due to safety concerns, the cities are just being turned upside down. So the businesses are going to say, no, we don't want that. It's just a hazard for us. We don't want to be going to the bank at 10 o'clock at night to go put that money in our account and then go and have to take it out again the next morning. It's not worth it. We're not going to accept cash anymore. So once the transaction levels just get down so far, they just say, nah, it's not worth that 1% to keep the cash in the business. So that's happening regardless. And of course, the younger generation overall is just more accepting to the digital systems. They're going to love it. They're already on it. So there really won't be much of a pushback coming from people. So in a sense, we are being squeezed big time. I still think that we should be geographically diversified because some places I could see, like in Europe, for instance, where they're not going to really accept it. There's still a lot of people that are just going to say, I'm not going to use that system. I'll still use this system, and some of the businesses will still use that. But in many places, they're just going to, just for one reason or another, people are going to be forced upon it. Now, there might be ways around that doesn't seem like they're going to offer that, to be honest with you, as soon as cash is just not accepted in different places. We're going to be using these central bank digital currencies either on the front end through like a tap of the phone or somehow in the back end. They're going to be forcing it on us. I think having your positions of self-sufficiency, as I talk about the pillars of prosperity, self-sufficiency, as well as keeping your income at an elevated level, because maybe there are ways, but it's like more expensive and you don't need to take on the UBI. You don't need to have that universal basic income, which is going to be attached to that central bank digital currency. That might offer you an opportunity, a way out, or at least delay the whole process. More examples: Indonesia launching a national digital currency exchange in July. Pakistan's central bank begins work on a CBDC. One after the other. I think I've made myself clear in what I believe they're going to do. So you have a crisis, you have a reason to do this. They provide the solution. It's a central bank digital currency. You and I aren't asking at all. We're not asking for this. We're not saying that they should do it, but they're doing it anyway. They're forcing it. So number one thing, if you can get your income high enough that you don't need universal basic income, that might be a loophole for you. That might be a way out for you. At the same time, we want to be geographically diversified, because maybe some countries, they won't force it. And that parallel system will stay there for 5 years. Maybe it's 10 years. So that gives you some time. Maybe there's other ways around by then. So that's what I say. I hope that's valuable to you. One of the ways you can get some serious value is through the Discord. The Discord is like a chat service, but at the same time, I've put a lot of information in there on different topics, on real estate things and preparedness and all kinds, financial aspects, all in the Discord, as well as you're going to get notified of all the daily YouTube videos. So no more problems with notifications and YouTube's not sending notifications out. You'll get them right here at the Discord. It's all down below. Oh yeah, and by the way, free stuff is coming. I'm going to be doing potentially cash giveaways, small ones, but they'll be there for people. If you're interested, check it out. Discord. I'll see you there. Take care.